So Katie, you're the head distiller here at Margaret River Distilling Company. Tell me about how you got into this sort of work.
Well, I was really fortunate. I think for one, I arrived at the right time, probably. I grew up in Albany and I always had a drive to head back to southwestern Australia. So when I decided on Margaret River being my home, I contacted Margaret River Distilling Company knowing lime burners and knowing it quite well, and they fortunately gave me the opportunity to come on, but I really did start at the bottom. So when I arrived, I started working on Cellar Door and got to know the product really well. And then Beck, who was our last distiller, really took me under her wing, which was lovely. And she had me come on board bottling, packaging, labelling. So all that really, you know, just the stuff, background stuff. But through that, I realised that I had a real love for distillation and how interesting it was. And I think it helps that like gardening and horticulture is something else I find interesting. So the botanicals really came into play. And then when she decided to move on, I took over the role, and then Cameron, who's the owner and master distiller, he has absolutely driven me forward from there, well, for the whole time. He fortunately has paid for me to go and sit all of my exams and learn on the job and go to Albany and go to opportunities in Sydney and move around and just learn as I go. And I have been thrown in the deep end a bit, you know, being on site here, very, very small team. So I've had to learn a lot of things along the way, but I'm really appreciative of that because I think that's the best way, is to go in and get your hands dirty and try and fail and then try again. And that sort of led me to where I am now.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And so you've developed the gin range here. Tell me about your approach to gin and where do you start?
Cool. Well, I suppose if we took a step back, Cameron, who owns the company, he developed our core range over a lot of trial and many years distilling and a lot of expertise. So he was sort of my benchmark or my yardstick as to where to start, especially because I was quite new to the industry. From there, I guess it's deciding what's important to you and following that through. So for me, I think we couldn't be luckier to be located where we are, and that's what I want to showcase. So I love working with native, sustainable, locally foraged botanicals, and that's something I always keep in my mind whenever I'm thinking about gin. So our botanical is the crowd favourite, and that's got eucalypt, lemon myrtle, sandalwood and Baronia. So really Australian driven, and I love the Baronia element because it smells like Margaret River, which I love.
Amazing. So when you come here to the venue, to the Cellar Door, what can you do?
We're really lucky in that we're actually based right on the edge of town. So you can walk, you can bike the trails. We have all the mountain bike trails behind us. So that's just the starting off point of actually getting here. And then when you're here, we offer a huge variety of things. So we have a fully set up and functional cellar door, so you can come and taste not only our range, but all of the whisky that we do in Albany. So our Lime Burners or Great Southern Distilling Co. is all here. And you can taste all of our gin and vodka, so all of our grape-based spirits. You can also grab a long drink, so we obviously do a mean gin and tonic, but all of our cocktail range as well. You can grab a bite to eat and come for lunch. And then on top of that, we have our experiences and our tours as well.
So tell me about these experiences.
Giniversity isn't just a name for our gin, it really is our experience as a whole. We are a university of gin, and we have the River Glen Chalets right next door. That's our campus. We've got our cellar door where you can introduce yourself, but then if you'd like to go one step further, we do offer two very unique experiences. So They run every Friday and Saturday with the opportunity for me to run more classes, obviously for larger groups or private tours, so I'm always available to be contacted about that. But as a general rule, every Friday I run a full distillation class. So this is our post-grad experience, this is the upper level. So you get a 2 litre still, copper or glass, and you actually get to distill your own recipe working with a really wide variety of dried botanicals. And through this you get a really good understanding about the principles of production. You'll get to do all of your own alcohol testing, so you'll start to understand a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And then every Saturday we run our blending class, and this is our really interactive undergrad experience. So this is where you actually get to be super creative. Like I said, it's really interactive and informative. We talk a lot about the history of gin, we get to try all of our gins, and then you actually can blend 2 different recipes using quite a wide variety of distillates that I've pre-made for the class. And from your 2 recipes, you pick your favourite and you make a 500ml bottle to take home.
All right, let's get to it.
Let's do it.
Thank you so much, Katie. Giniversity has been awesome, and I'm so happy that I've graduated. Time for a real drink. Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers.